What is the origin of the SpineDok? Well, a few years ago, I noticed that I was basically hunching over. And I tried every product on the market, and I couldn't get myself to stand up straight. Tried gravity boots and rollers and foam and balls. Nothing worked. And so I figured I had to figure out something for myself, and that's where this came into play, is that to change your thoracic posture is very difficult. It's hard to get to. And so you need to put pressure here to straighten up this thoracic back. And then once you go over center, then you can actually come back center and be upright. And basically what it allows you to do is be into your bone structure and not your muscular structure to carry your body weight. And that's where the idea for this came into being. And this is a very gentle way of adjusting your posture, and this will change your posture. Most people that are hunched over, you tell them to straighten up, and then they do this, but their spine didn't change. Their back didn't change its alignment. And in the modern world, young people have thoracic kyphosis very badly, computer hunch. And I would like to see them all have one of these. This is a SpineDok. It's an asymmetrical back traction device. And by asymmetrical, it means the center is not in the middle, it's off center. And so when you're sitting on this part of the SpineDok and laying back, the high point hits you in the mid-chest area. And so this allows you to focus the main stretch either in the thoracic area, which is upper, or you can rotate it and focus on the lumbar. And so it gives you control over where the maximum stretch is. And when you're doing the thoracic stretch, which is the upper one, then this really works on thoracic kyphosis. And thoracic kyphosis is when you're hunched over. And so this will actually straighten you up past center a little bit, and then you will go back to center when you get up. It has to be hard plastic because you have to support your body weight. And once your body feels your body weight supported, then it'll start relaxing the ligaments and tendons. And this is going to take some time because the forces applied are very, very light. It's using gravity in your body weight, which is not very much in this curve. And over time, it will realign your spine so that you will stand up straighter. And you will use your bone structure to carry your weight and not your muscular structure to carry the weight. And the other thing is you have a curve this way, but if you look at the SpineDok in this axis, you also have a curve across your shoulders. And so when you're hunched over, the shoulders and the chest are compressed. And so this will allow your shoulders to open and then your chest to open. And it increases your breathing, and it also takes pressure off of your heart. So how to use a SpineDok? I recommend using the thoracic high position first, and that is using it laying down at this axis and then having the high point hit you about mid-chest. And the reason for that is that the lumbar gets stretched lightly. The thoracic gets a big stretch, the lumbar gets a small stretch. And so it allows the lumbar to begin loosening up. And so there are two ways basically to mount the SpineDok. One is to sit and lay directly back, and the other one is to lay down on the side and roll onto it. And so I'm going to show you both ways. And the important thing though is that this point hits your spine about here. And after you use the SpineDok for a period of time, you will know what that feeling is. Okay, so if she just lays straight back, okay, pillow, is that the high point ends up being about here. And so this, it helps, but it's not really the optimal place. And so when you're laying back on it, this axis, I'm going to have to help her up, is that you need to sit up on the SpineDok a little bit. So, yeah, a little bit more. There you go. Now lay back, slowly, slowly. Good, 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 good. So now the high point's right here, and that's what we're really looking for. Because now you get a big thoracic stretch and a small lumbar stretch, and your whole spine is resting on the SpineDok. And you're also getting a stretch across the shoulders very lightly. And this is the optimal positioning of the SpineDok. This is a second way of laying down on the SpineDok. So you need to line the highest point up with the point on your spine that you want it to hit. And then you just roll over onto the SpineDok, and then you have to kind of scooch onto it. There you go. And now the high point ends up being where you want it along the spine. So the high point is in the upper chest area. The lumbar is being stretched less. The thoracic is more right now. And so as far as legs are concerned, you can have feet up, feet down, whatever is comfortable. It's not that important. It's very important to use a pillow to support your head because we don't want to stress cervical vertebrae. And so this will give your head support so that none of your cervical vertebrae get any stress on them. And then later on, once your basic spine's opened up, then you can lower the pillow and then start stretching out the cervical vertebrae, but that's much later. We do not do that in the beginning. We want to be safe. So if you're having problems in, say, your lumbar area, you do not put the big stretch on the lumbar. Okay, when you're using this, you use the high point on your thoracic, on the upper area, and the lumbar will be stretched, but much less. And so if you'll do this stretch for a period of time, then the lumbar will slowly open up. And so you don't go at the problem, you try to go around the problem. And so if your thoracic is really bad or hurting, and your lumbar is okay, then you use the lumbar big stretch, and then you use the small thoracic stretch. And it may take a week or two, but however long it takes, then this thoracic area will open up, and then eventually you'll be able to go back and use the big stretch on the thoracic. But in either configuration, your whole spine is being stretched. When to use the SpineDok? Many people use it at night before they go to sleep because it helps them sleep. It stretches out your back and helps you relax. Now, if you're going to be doing heavy lifting, gardening or golfing or something where you're using your back a lot, you use this before you do your activity, both directions, thoracic and lumbar, and then you use it after you do your activity. And this will take any stress out of your back. And then sometimes you'll be going along and you'll feel like your back's about to go out. Well, you need to get on this right away, and it'll take out that possibility. It'll basically take out that catch that you're about to get. We have risers to use with the SpineDok. Okay, this is designed for folks that are under 6 feet. Now, if you're taller than 6 feet and using this on a hard surface, then you'll need to add the risers. And so the risers are a 3-piece unit. And on the SpineDok, there is a base, and there's a long base, and then there's a short base. And then there's a long piece for the risers, and that goes on the long base end. And the risers are stackable. And so you have a centerpiece, and then the short base goes on the short end of the SpineDok. So now then, this is now 1 inch higher. And so now then, this is good for people up to about 6'2" on a hard surface. Now what the risers allow you to do is if you don't like to get up and down off the floor, you can use this on a soft surface. You can use this on a bed. And so when you place it on a bed, your body weight will cause it to sink into the surface of the bed. This will allow you to get the same stretch as if the clear unit was on the floor. And these things the risers are stackable, so you can stack these up as high as you need to go. And this gives you flexibility for people who don't like to get up and down off the floor. This is our gel pack, and it can be either used hot or cold. Okay, when you're heating this in a microwave, it's important that you have a carousel. The first time you use it, you put it in the microwave for 30 seconds and then feel it, 30 seconds and feel it. And from my experience, a 1,000-watt microwave, it takes about 2 minutes. And the way you test it is to put it on the inside of your forearm, your wrist, like you're testing baby formula. And once it gets warm to that point where you feel it warm and comfortably warm, not hot, then you can put it on the SpineDok and lay back on it. If you're mounting it by laying back on it directly, then this is okay. But if you're rolling onto it, then you'll need to attach it with the Velcro strips. The heat lasts for about 4 or 5 minutes and it's very comfortable. And you might think about using a hot shower or hot bath and this in the beginning to help loosen up the soft tissue along the spine.